Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your day in the last couple hours that I haven't seen y'all on a live at least. We have got some things we got to talk about, and I know this is a little bit off topic to some of you guys that have newly subscribed to this channel and whatnot. But this was very important to me because of this month. This month is DV Awareness Month, all right? And with this particular conversation, this particular topic, we see something that happened literally live in 4K. And to me, it was just showing to me some telling signs of a very toxic and very because I can't use this word, unfortunately, very civ relationship. And I wanted us all to watch this together because let's be real. We do have friends. We do have people that we love that we may know or may not know going through the same stuff like this young woman is going through right now. Now, we got to talk about a few things, okay? This particular person is a very wealthy, very successful streamer, for lack of a better term. She's got many different accounts. She's got many different spicy accounts, so on and so forth. And so there's a lot of people out here that are having quite an interesting reaction to the stuff that we're about to see here, okay? Nothing physical happens. It's all verbal, but still, there is literally going on in this situation. There's clearly abuse going on in this situation. That's probably the only time I'm going to be saying that word. I'm going to be using from this point on because we got to use these code words and I got to keep my lights on. Okay, guys? But this is something that I saw a couple days ago, it was actually, no, it's not a couple days ago. It was going viral. And it was being shared yesterday. A lot of people were talking about it. And, I felt compelled to hop on here and talk about this because to me, this kind of sheds a tiny bit of light, almost like us being a fly on the wall, if you will, in these two people's relationship. And again, this gets very, very interesting and very weird. It gets a little wild here in a second when I explain a lot of things to you guys, which we're going to be getting into very, very shortly. But there is this, as you see in the title, there is this e-girl, for lack of a better term, by the name, her screen name is Amouranth, okay? Her government name really is Caitlin, okay? Obviously, a very successful girl on these streaming sites, wearing next to nothing, being, scantily clad, showing a lot of cleavage. And she gets a lot of love for it. And don't get me wrong, great looking, she looks good on camera. She looks good in pictures and all that. And she's doing her thing, okay? Hey, do your thing, girl. Stack up on that bread. Okay, because you never know when that bread is going to be gone. But there's very interesting pieces in this relationship or in these videos that we're going to see very shortly that are very, very revealing and very shocking to a lot of us. And some of us may not know who the heck this girl is. I'll explain a little bit more here in just a minute. And then there's stuff that we just found out that she revealed that I feel a lot of men and women are very upset. Okay? Very upset. Okay? About this information. Okay? But before we get into things really, really quick, because I made that mistake earlier today, I see a bunch of y'all starting to put in some stuff. And I appreciate all the love and the super chats and all that stuff. So I don't want to miss any right off the bat. So first off, Mel, welcome to the becoming a family member. Thank you so much, Mel South, for becoming a family member. All right. And of course, before I get way ahead of myself, I'm forgetting. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Send it past 200 likes. Send it past 300 likes, okay? Because I see a bunch of y'all starting to file in. I appreciate all y'all for coming in, spending your energy over here, and having some time with us to talk about this situation. Like I said, I feel that this is a very, very, like this morning, we had a very terrible story about this young girl, Lola Davier, in Paris, who was found in a suitcase. And I was talking about how important it is to have conversations with your loved ones, with your children. Now, this is a conversation that is also a cautious tale of transparency, communication, and how to do as such in a diplomatic and mature way, especially when we're in these relationships, okay? Sometimes we like to show our ass real quick. So please, hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes. That would really mean a lot, okay? A like doesn't cost a thing. And for those of y'all who are watching the show for the very first time, welcome to the Pascal Show. I talk about everything from pop culture, true crime, controversial, everything, political even. I talk about it right here on the Pascal Show. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into this, shall we? Okay. So I did kind of say like birdshot. And sorry, maybe it's the cold medicine starting to course through my veins right now. Your boy's fighting a cold right now. But there is a very interesting story going on right now that's been going viral over this girl, this streamer by the name of Amouranth. Okay, she also goes by Caitlin. Now, the thing is that she makes a multi-billion-dollar a month. Well, actually, she makes $1.5 million a month going onto these streaming sites, going on to Twitch and all these other streaming sites, and she's on there for hours on end, okay? Hours on end. Sometimes she's on for 24 hours, etc. She has built an empire around her face, her body, and her name. She's extremely successful, y'all. Extremely, okay? And then some. Lots and lots of moolah. Now, recently, she was doing a live. In fact, she was doing a 24-hour stream. And, well, out of nowhere, she does she exposes something that no one ever expected. No one even knew. I mean, it was running around in the rumor mill, but no one really knew that she was actually married and that she actually has a husband. And her husband was on a phone call with her, and he just goes in. Apparently, she didn't give a damn anymore because she was at wit's end. So she turned off her mute during this 24-hour stream and just let everybody hear him go in on her through this phone call. We're going to look at it in just a second, okay? But at the same time, a lot of people are very upset about finding out, some of these guys out here, I guess some of them felt in their heart of hearts that they might have a chance to get with this chick because they're dropping lots of money, paying for memberships, following her on her OF or her other spicy platforms, or, tipping her on Twitch and all that stuff, which we are going to talk about here in a second. But it's wild that in that world that she's in, because there's plenty of other girls that are trying to copy her exact business model. They see her making that monies, though. $1.5 million a month. And that's just the bottom. Some good months she probably makes more, much more in the high millions. But there are plenty of girls out here that are trying to follow in suit and get the same bag. Now, she really did blow up even more. She was already pretty popular on Twitch because she'd game at that time, she'd do ASMR, so on and so forth. But she's always, in a low plunging shirt, so on and so forth, right? But what's interesting is that a new meta was created about 2021, last year. I remember everybody on Twitch, a lot of dudes on Twitch were going crazy, and not in a good way. A lot of people were very upset because they're sitting there going, hey, no guys, no regular ass dudes are going to be wanting to watch us play video games when they can go to Twitch and see girls in bikinis swimming around in an inflatable hot tub. She happened to be one of the people that was on that and blew the F up even more from this. Okay. Yes. Spin cycle. Tons of bags. She was making the monies. Okay. She still is, though. She still is. Now, I'll explain why I think she's going to be fine here in just a little bit. So, she's been doing this for a long time. And I guess for a lot of people, a lot of guys or a lot of people were feeling like they were being conned because now they just found out that this young woman actually has been married. And apparently she's been married for a while, a long while. Apparently conning dudes mainly, I guess. But, there's some girls in there too. But conning some people into their money because they thought that she was single. I don't know how long she's been on Twitch and how long she's been streaming, but as far as I'm concerned, you out here, you're doing all this stuff for years. You're telling me you really think this girl is single? Really? And you really think that this single girl is going to go out with you because you tipped a whole bunch of monies, or you're paying a membership every month, or paying for her nudes, or paying for her spicy content in general? You really think? I'm just saying that out loud. It doesn't make any bloody sense. Now, of course, let's get into some of these articles. We got some videos too we're going to be looking at here where she exposes everything, and this is insane to me. Okay, so here it is. Just a little bit of an article. This will be quick. This is what he said. Anyway, Amouranth reveals to all on a stream that she has exposed her abusive husband online. Amouranth revealed all on stream last night, and it was more than just her cleavage. She opened up about the abuse. I said it again, dagnabbit. She was suffering at the hands of her husband, and even showed their text to chat. He was controlling her financials, threatening to unalive her own dogs, and we hear him verbally A her. Okay? Unlike much of the conversation happening on Twitter right now, we aren't going to treat this matter with flippancy. This is upsetting and serious. I completely and utterly 110% agree. This whole situation with this girl, she doesn't deserve this. No one deserves the type of treatment she receives in these videos that we're about to see here in just a minute. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me that there are people out here that actually literally speak to their loved ones like this. Take a look. This is insane, y'all.
Did you say you were going to kill my dogs?
Leave the house.
Okay, I can leave the. You know what? Actually, I shouldn't leave the house because my dogs are here.
We'll take the dogs and leave. You're asking the question. I'm telling you, and you're interrupting my fucking telling you, literally.
What are you saying? You just told me you were gonna kill dogs if I didn't do a 24-hour stream.
Nope, did not say that. Now you're just fucking being a liar.
I'm not
I
just.
said it. I said I'm going to tell you what I said in terms of the earlier. You're saying you did not say that.
I tried to tell you what I heard from you. And then you called me a liar.
Then you tell me, what did you say?
What are you even talking about? You brought up the dogs out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So what
Prove a point.
point is it improving?
See? You're proving my point right now.
What? I'm asking you to. I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
I know. That's my point. My point is, are you listening or not? If you're not, then get the fuck out.
I'm literally listening, but you're not making any sense.
Well, no, you're not listening because it makes perfect sense. I'm going to say it one more time. If you don't get it, I need you to get the fuck out.
Okay, now talk about the serious amount of control that this man has, or at least he's trying to exact. He is trying to exercise on this woman right here. And God knows, she's the one making the monies in the relationship. You know that for a fact. You know that for a fact. She's the one. 1.5 million. I mean, I understand. I hear that this guy, I've heard through the grapevine that he has his, obviously he has his own job and all that stuff, but he is pretty much the one behind the scenes making things happen, I guess, business wise. But still, that does not mean that you talk to your wife. By the way, this is his wife. You don't talk to your wife like this. Okay. It gets worse. Trust me, it gets worse. We got more. Okay. But this is not how you speak to your loved one.
Why did you say
There's
you were going
got
to
to
kill
be.
my dogs?
Sorry about that. First off, let me just do that really quick. She did say in the very beginning of the clip. Let me just show you that clip, or a still from the clip. He literally said that he was going to unalive the dogs. He was going to take those dogs' lives and then kick her out. Tell her to kick rocks, get the hell out. Right? Now, I just watched it's because I wanted to make sure I knew a little bit more about Amouranth, because I don't really know anything about her. All I know is that she makes a whole lot of money making content on Twitch. I didn't know anything else about her. But I just watched this Vice. She did an interview with Vice. And on that, she was talking about how she loves her animals. She has horses, she has dogs, she's rescuing dogs. She's actually trying to build an organization to save and rescue more dogs. So and even when she's talking about that, you can see how emotional she starts getting talking about saving dogs. So why, if you are her husband, whom she's been a husband to, or he's been a husband to her, or he's been married to her. Allegedly, they've been married for almost 8 to 9 years. Okay, so they've been together for a long time. So you know this person. Okay, this ain't some shotgun wedding, and they're like, hey, let's just get together, and we've only known each other for 6 months. No, they've known each other for years. So you know how she is, where her soft points are, where her triggers are, where her, do not pass, the red flags. You don't do that. You don't talk about something that she's very passionate and sensitive about unless you are trying to exact control over that particular person, or to just trigger them and get them angry and start going after you, and then you can go, see, I told you you're crazy. So when I see something like this is absolutely insane. Right off the bat. I mean, of course, there's obviously more to this conversation, but we don't hear the conversation. See what I'm saying? She was doing a live. She was doing a 24-hour stream. And then she got this phone call. And allegedly, she went off to the side. The stream was still going on because it was 24 hours. So she went off to the side, muted the stream, but she went off to the side and she clearly was having an argument with her husband. Then she walked back over, and it seemed as if she just had enough. She said, F it, hit the unmute, and just let the conversation go off. And you can hear him going crazy on her. And there's more we're going to be looking at here very, very shortly that shows more of how unhinged this dude is. Okay. But he clearly knows how to mess with her head, how to manipulate the situation, how to F with her by saying, I'm going to take the dogs. I'm going to unalive them. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to these dogs and such. Of course she's going to start crying. Of course she's going to be worried. You don't do that, especially when she has a huge soft spot in her heart for those doggone dogs and animals in general. But like I said, we got more. We're going to get into it. I promise you. We're going to take a look at this. We got some more video. And I want to say this too, and she might explain it a little bit more in this next video that I'm going to show you guys here. But she even says that she went to her husband, who also helps her plan out everything, puts this whole business model together, all that stuff. He was sitting there. He was adamant about her not exposing them being married. He said it's against, like it's going to go against their business model. That's what he said. Then apparently all she wanted to do was go to Disneyland. She wanted to take a trip to Disneyland. The only way she could actually go and do that is if she went on and did a 24-hour stream, which is the reason why she did a 24-hour stream in the first place. He has that much control over what she can and cannot do. We haven't even gotten into the financial conversation yet, which we are going to get into in just a minute. Let's take a look at this video. This is just insane to me. Absolutely insane.
The therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse, and that I'm basically living in a fancy prison. And then he was changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity. And then he turned into an asshole again when I agreed to commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us. I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married, because it's like our relationship would be better if we just stream them. And it's a fighting all the time. But no, Mister, don't say that because it's gonna run the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not gonna fuck you anymore.
Oh.
You want me to tell them I'm single? It's about to be true. Piece of shit.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna break this down because there's a lot she says here. Okay, so just ride with me for a second, y'all.
The therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse, and that I'm basically living in a fancy prison. And then he was changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity. And then he turned into an asshole again. Okay.
Now, this piece is very important. Okay. So clearly they were having issues in their relationship because of the content that she was making. I'm just assuming. Or they just have a very bad relationship. But content that she was making may have had been playing a toll on this man's mind. Let's keep it real. She's one of the most popular e-girls on Twitch. She's one of the most popular OF creators on OF and all the other channels that she's on. Okay, she makes some allegedly she makes other content than just wearing low plunging shirts in a live stream. Okay, so obviously she's going to have some hardcore fans and a lot of fellas trying to slide in her DMs trying to say what's good. Okay, now that could play a toll on a dude. But if you already know that this is how the person's going to be, if you already know who you're dating or who you're married to, and that's the content that they want to make, you just got to deal with it. You got to find a better way of dealing with this kind of stuff, not going off and going crazy and trying to be controlling. And like I said, we haven't even gotten to the part yet, but there's a lot, okay? There's a lot that's being said here, okay? Where clearly hold on. I got a super chat. I want to read this one. Hold on real quick. Mr. Marnez said $5. Thank you so much for the 5, by the way. You're simping. She accepted this behavior for the money. Next. Now, there's a lot of people that sit here and say that. Okay. But what about this? Okay. I don't think I'm simping at all. But that's fine. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. But I do think it's really interesting when fellas instantly start saying, oh, you simping, when they don't have anything better or more intelligent to bring into the conversation. Simping is something completely different. I'm not simping. So listen up. This is what I find incredibly interesting, because this situation here, he should know what he was walking into. But also at the same time, if there's not a proper understanding between them two, then they need to have that conversation or part ways, instead of having these negative fights, having these problems all the time. Because God knows if it's actually physical. The way he was screaming at her on the phone, I wouldn't be surprised if it was so. Now, there's a lot of guys out here, just like our Mr. Marnez, that will sit there and instantly say, oh, that's exactly what she gets. This is what she deserves, so on and so forth. Let me tell you something. I don't care if you're a sex worker or becoming the next president of the United States, okay? I don't care. No one deserves this kind of treatment, period. Man or woman. There should be communication, point blank, period. Just because she's making money, they could find an amicable, copacetic balance between them, where she can continue making her money and he can live his life being happy, not looking over his shoulder thinking that she's off to no good. Maybe. Just saying. Okay? Now, when it comes to all this, there is a little bit of something here, okay, that does frustrate me too, okay? It's the level of control, because clearly, as we just had that super chat, and he brought in simp. So let's bring in that conversation. That's probably what he's trying not to be as much as he can be. He's trying to establish some sort of dominance, getting all Andrew Tate up in this biznai, trying to say, I'm the man. This is how it's going to be. He controls the money. He controls her. Is that entirely right? No, it's not. Now, I understand if they are business partners and they're working things out and he's put in some time and effort and he's doing all the behind the scenes stuff, then I understand him having rights to ownership of some of the money or whatever's in the contract or whatever they have agreed upon. But him having full control over the money that she has been working her butt off on, wrong. Absolutely 110% wrong, in my personal opinion. No person, whether you have full control over money or not, whether this is just your boyfriend or your husband, no person should be talked to like this, ever. Now, I will say this, though, too, before we continue. We do not know the full extent of this argument. We don't know. This could have been something that's been going on for a very, very long time. And then she just exposed him right at his boiling point where he just popped off. That could be it too. This could very well be just a moment where he just got caught losing his mind. And this may be the only time he's ever raised his voice at her. Or then again, this may have been the moment that time and time again, he screams at her exactly like this. But none of that, none of that should be okay. There's got to be better ways of having a conversation with somebody without you talking to them like they're an imbecile, like they are nothing. But like I said, there is more to this. Trust and belief. Let's continue on to the rest of this video here. He is straight up pimping her. Not simping, pimping her. And thinking that is 110% okay. I do not agree with that.
When I agreed to commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us. I've been wanting to tell people that Like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married, because it's like our relationship would be better if we just stream them, and it's fighting all the time. But no, Mister, don't say that because it's gonna run the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself.
Okay, now we already heard the rest of this, but here it is though too. Oh, she wanted to sit there and say, "Hey, I want to say my piece. I want everybody to know that we're married," right? And then, of course, he's like, "No, it's going to ruin the business model." All right, I get it to a certain extent. Okay, there were at least plenty of artists, recording artists, so on and so forth, pop stars, etc., that back in the day that would hide the fact that they were married or anything of that sort. Man, I got a crazy story about Montel Jordan. I'm going to have to tell you some other time, okay? But like I said, a lot of times, yes, it is kind of, it ruins the fantasy, okay? I get that part. I get it. Is it right? No, it's not. But I do get the reason why he said, no, it's going to ruin the business model, because there's plenty of dudes, as we've already seen, plenty of people out here that have spent thousands, if not a collective millions of dollars out here just in hopes that maybe she'll get my attention. Just maybe she'll notice me by sending her a DM. Maybe I'll be the one that she responds back to, so on and so forth. But at the same time, though, I will say this. There's two sides to every story. We don't know everything here. We don't. This could have just been a moment in like when everything came to a head in their relationship. But at the same time, there's got to be better ways of communicating with each other. This is not the right way of having conversations, especially when you have somebody who's out here busting their hump literally 24 hours sometimes a day for the house and for everything that you have. There's got to be a certain level of respect, and there isn't any here. Clearly there isn't.
I'm going to leave you with 1 million and I'm going to take the rest because I worked harder than you. It's like, and if you don't agree, then I'm going to burn it all in court. I'm going to put it all in fucking crypto. Blah. Just always threats. All the fucking accounts are like two-factor under his number, and he has all like the login information of things, It's like keeps you there with the fear and the threats. You fear that he's going to do something to your animals. And then he's nice again and says everything's going to be okay. I'm going to leave you with 1 million and I'm going to take the rest.
So this is another clip of him actually sitting there saying, I'm about to destroy the financials. I'm about to do this, that, and the third. I'm going to show you guys a text message conversation that he had with her, but apparently her phone was off or had died. We're going to be looking at that in just a second. But at the same time, she's basically saying like this guy has control over financials. And then, obviously when she does what he wants, everything's fine. Everything's good. Everything's Gucci. Everything's fine again. But like I said, this looks like, to me, this screams it screams to me that this is an incredibly toxic relationship. And she needs to get out of it as quickly as bloody possible, in my personal opinion. All right. Oops. Where is it? So then she shows text messages here. She shows text messages from him calling her a dumb F and supposedly throwing away money and her accounts as threats when she wasn't responding to him. So let's take a look at this video here too.
It's like the next time when I say plan, do it. Dumb fuck, do you understand? Like what plan talking about? It's like, fuck this, I'm calling you. So I disappeared from stream. Take a call. So I'm gonna tell them I can't talk right now. We're getting Wi-Fi. I don't care. You get the call now. Last chance. About to dump your luggage. From my hotel room. But throwing your stupid merch off the balcony. Proceeding to ditch your stuff. You don't need the makeup or the live view, like the stream epic, or the clothes, huh? Deleting social media in 1 minute. buying options that expire and blasting the cash. About to shut down the bank account, your bank account too. Lag is terrible. Stream is garbage. It's like about to delete Twitter in 30 seconds. If you don't call me, your phone's
This is
literally
insane.
off. Right? I'm just like, it literally died. Gonna donate $250,000 to Polo Missy. It's like a bird sanctuary he likes. In the next 2 minutes, like the next time when I say plan, do it.
There's something here that's absolutely crazy. Hold on. Come on, come back.
Gonna donate.
Okay, there's something here that's crazy to me. Remember, I said he said something about doing something to the dogs, right? Now, this is crazy too. We'll donate. Okay, he basically said $250,000 gone. I'll donate $500,000 in 30 minutes to some other crypto account. All right. Then it says here, if no call in 1 minute, I will absolutely make sure that Kieran goes to meat packing house. Now, Kieran, from what I understand, is one of her horses. So now he's threatening to do things to her horse. It's insane. That's insane. Melanie just said, yeah, Kieran is her horse. Absolutely. He's even throwing, and I get it that he's just like throwing out threats. These aren't like, he's not really doing these things. But Mike, I hope he wasn't doing these things. Damn, he just drops. He literally was basically, he dropped $750,000. He said he was about to drop another $1 million, like all $1 million collectively in the matter of what? 10 minutes? That's freaking insane to crappy crypto. Then on top of that, threatening to take the lives of her dogs, to take Kieran to a meat packing house. Like he just basically said, I'm going to take everything that you love and I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to destroy everything that you love because you're not doing what I ask you to do. Now, what's interesting is, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Allegedly, she was asking to go to Disneyland to have like a day off because she doesn't really have days off. From my understanding in this, from this Vice episode that she was in, where they just interviewed her and she basically streams every day, all day, every day. It's crazy, right? 12 hours in total, where she's either in a bikini or lingerie or, doing a dance move, or she's swimming around in a hot tub, all that stuff. And she says, I just want to go and have a day off and enjoy some Disneyland stuff. And he said, well, if you want to go to Disneyland, you need to stream 24 hours straight. Then you can get to Disneyland. You need to do a 24-hour stream. And then you'll get your Disneyland. Are you kidding me? To me, listen, I do shows sometimes 3 hours long, and that stuff takes a lot of energy. Takes a lot. And I'm just sitting in a chair, okay, under some hot lights. But other than that, imagine doing 12 hours straight. Having a few breaks to, go use the bathroom and eat a meal. Okay. And that's it. Like that. And then you go back and you're in the lights and all that stuff, doing that stuff. And shoot. And imagine doing that scantily clad. That's just insane, y'all. That's absolutely insane. This is not something that is, this type of treatment is not safe. Okay. In my personal opinion, it is not safe. You got 12 hours every single day. I mean, God knows what time she starts and what time she ends. But as soon as she starts, that's 12 hours later, she's done. She goes to sleep. If she even gets real sleep, wakes up, lather, rinse, and repeat all over again. This is insane. And then, like I said, if you're having disagreements with your loved one, if you're having misunderstandings, etc., You got to find a better way of communicating with each other. It's your spouse, it's your husband, it's your wife, whatever it is. It's your child. It doesn't matter. You need to know and find a better way of having a conversation. But the amount of control that this man has over Amouranth or Caitlyn clearly are signs of clearly are signs of an unhealthy, toxic relationship. And the other thing too is because he does not really have, I'll say it, I'm sorry. This is real though. And I do agree, Laura Waldy, this is literally slave labor. She is stuck in her home like a prisoner, basically under his command. But because he doesn't really, because her body, her presence, and her body are for the public, he has no, he has no control, I guess, for lack of a better term, over her body. He uses he tries to have control over everything else because everybody else has her body. Okay? Her body is everybody else's. And now he's upset, I guess, about that. But he's like, well, it's making money. So let me keep this going. You know, we should keep it going. It's easy money. And it's not really easy money. I mean, shoot, 12 hours streaming every single day. She was doing a 24-hour stream. That's insane. Where you got people out here doing God knows what on the other side of a computer, people who are stalking her, people who are trying to find where she lives, trying to like all this crazy stuff. That gets dangerous, y'all. You're putting yourself out there in that kind of way. It's dangerous, especially when you are exposing yourself in this type of way. You're not just coming on and reporting the news and talking about life. You're out here, like I said, exposing yourself. And it's for everyone else. This body, in a way, her presence is for everyone else's consumption. It's not behind closed doors and only just for her husband, which is also a sacred thing. That private, sacred thing between two people that love each other, that are married or that love each other, that doesn't really exist anymore. It doesn't. Not in this situation. And I guess in the back of his mind, he thinks that if I don't have her, like I don't have her presence, it's for everybody else, I'm going to control her in another way. Or I'm going to have control over something. Since I can't control people seeing her butt naked, I'm going to control the financials. And I'm going to control what she does and how she does it then. That'll balance it out. And it doesn't. And I know it's in that Andrew Tate kind of world. A lot of dudes out here think, hey, you know, there's a lot of dudes out here that sit there and go, hey, that believe, oh, if she's on OF, if she's on these sites and all that stuff, I get a cut. He might be the same dude that believes that. But clearly, this is extremely wrong. Extremely wrong and messed up. But welcome to the world that we're living in right now. And I feel like the other thing, some people will sit here. Some people are out here looking at this and saying, this got to be fake. This is staged. This is most definitely scripted. I'm going to tell you this. I really don't think so, babies. I really don't think so. Not at all. I think she put this out here as a cry for help. She got tired of this situation. Okay? Five Tribe is exactly right. And a bunch of y'all said it earlier. He clearly is getting off and enjoying exploiting the hell out of her. Okay? That's it. This is definitely not fake. This is a real thing. This is a girl screaming for help, showing something very, very real that's going on in her life. Also, you got to remember, she was hiding the fact that she was married for years, y'all, for years. Why would she suddenly expose that right now? Why? Why? You know, all these guys are out here talking, sitting there going, oh, yeah, you know, she's been lying to us and all that. Okay, fine, sure. She's been holding some personal things from her fans, okay, from her viewers. I don't think there's a problem with holding something sacred for your own personal life. It's your personal life. I don't see any problem with that. Personally, I really don't. And it's wild to me that there are people out here that follow, let's just say, adult film stars, people that are on OF, other ones, not just her, that actually believe that these performers don't have relationships with anybody. Like, you really think that some of these people don't get married and continue doing their jobs? You really think that adult film star, yes, she might be in this scene, doing this scene with this dude, doesn't automatically mean that person's single too? That person could be married and happily married or not and still performing. There are plenty of OF fans or OF models and creators out here that put up spicy, very, very spicy content, and their man are the ones holding the camera, taking the photos, whilst they are doing things with another dude in this content. Like I said, it's for a lot of people to sit here and go, this is just, you know, this got to be fake. No, this is real. Then on top of that, you can't be surprised if she is sitting here with a full husband and a full private life outside of her streaming life. It's insane to think. It's insane to think that this woman has been single this entire time. This entire time. And like I said, there's other things that people have been saying, and it's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. How people are coming at this in such a really jacked up way. Like this dude, Keemstar. I don't know if you know who Keemstar is, but Drama Alert. Okay, he has a show called Drama Alert. I don't even know if he still does it or not. I heard that he stepped away. I don't know. But he said this in a tweet, which I'm sure he regrets now. But he said, clearly, husband is A-ing. He showed the text, or she showed the text. But Amouranth herself has scammed so many guys online claiming she was single for years. These Twitch streamers don't care about their viewers. They all just use you and your low IQs to fill your pockets. There's more. Well, there's more of other people saying some things. But like I said, this is insane. Just this tweet alone. Okay? So you're saying that all the people, like, that's why it's crazy to me that, like I said earlier, there are plenty of artists, actors, so on and so forth, that do have private lives, that don't put out their information like that don't expose their husbands and wives and all that stuff, that keep things on the low and the quiet. One, maybe because the spouse doesn't want to be seen out there in these streets, and two, because it's their personal private life. It has nothing to do with what they're doing online or in the movies or in a song. None. Now, what's interesting is back in the day, there were a lot of artists, and it's still true to this day too, but there were artists back in the day when Elvis got married, for example. It's a throwback, but it's true. There was when Elvis got married, his whole team were very upset. They were adamant about him not getting married. Why? It wasn't them sitting there going, "Oh, don't marry her. Don't marry Priscilla. It's a bad idea." No. They were like, "Don't marry Priscilla because the money's no girls are going to want you anymore. You are not desirable anymore. We can't do that. You got to be single for life, Elvis." Same thing with all these other artists that are out here. It's been going on forever. All right. It's a tale as old as time. It's old. Like I said, Montel Jordan. Okay. This is how we do it. That guy. Okay. One hit wonder. But during the time, he was out there. Dude was married. But he had to act like he was single. He had to be he was acting like he was single. But he was most definitely married. But it gives more sex appeal. It gives it gives the general public, it gives the fans belief that there may be a chance. But I will say this too. We live in a different time now. I'm seeing moms. I'm seeing married couples making content. I've talked about those kind of topics all the time. Oh, an ex-teacher or a teacher went to OF and decided to quit her job because of how much money she's making content with her husband. I mean, shoot, people buy that content. Period. Maybe, I guess I understand that the whole idea of that fantasy of maybe one day getting betwixt the sheets and getting that boo-hoo-tea. But at the same time, it's a wild idea, guys. It's a wild idea. So it's unfair for people that this is just the tip of the iceberg of the people that are reacting in such a negative way. Some people are like, damn right, that's what you deserve, so on and so forth. When you see something like this, that's clearly showing us a cry for help. She is crying for help. And yet, dirty mother lovers out here that don't have a soul are sitting there going, that's what you deserve, girl. That's what you deserve. Like Keemstar. Okay? These Twitch streamers don't care about their viewers. They all just use you and your low IQs to fill their pockets. No, that's not entirely true. It's not. Because let me be real. A lot of people out here, we're just looking at her as a piece of meat. We're just looking at her and exploiting her as well. The only reason why they care now that she is married is because she said as such. Before then, didn't change her pocket. And I will say this though too. I don't think it's going to change her pocket even afterwards. Maybe some people might not go and follow her anymore. But at the same time, if they like how she looks, they're going to continue watching. They're going to continue buying. They're going to continue consuming. Now you know that this person is more three-dimensional. Now you know that this person is more three-dimensional than you ever thought before. She actually has a life outside of that room, outside of those streams. She actually has emotions. She is actually a human being and not a piece of bloody meat. And maybe that's the thing that everybody doesn't like. It has throttled their fantasy of this person. When in actuality, everything that we see right now with her is some harsh, harsh realities that I hope she's come to terms with or has found salvation in some sort of way. Now, we do have a little bit of update from this as well. Amouranth content lead confirmed that she's okay following her recent concerning stream. And there have been a lot of other content creators that have seen this video or seen these videos that have been talking about this and bringing these things up, basically saying we're so concerned, what's going on, so on and so forth. Okay. Latest update on Kate / Amouranth. People on the stream were able to talk to her, and she says she's fine. Police went multiple times since 5 a.m. yesterday. She says she's okay, so they can't do much. She spent all day talking to her husband to sort things out. Not sure what else we can do right now. And I say, hey, I'm really, really hoping that one, I think she needs to kick rocks. I think she needs to get the hell out of that situation. Period. Okay? You got somebody out here that you pressed unmute and you let everybody know how he speaks to you. And the other thing too is he was real comfortable speaking that fire to her like that. He didn't have any concerns. He didn't. If he knew that she was doing a 24-hour stream, why would he unleash on her like that, knowing that there was a 24-hour stream going on while he was going off? Clearly, this dude is very comfortable going off on her like this, period. But this girl needs to get the hell out. Chuck up the deuces, grab your dogs, your horses, or have him get kicked out. Get all your stuff in your name, because apparently she has no access to her financials. He has everything. He knows all the passwords, all the codes, etc. He has no control. She has no control over even the money that she earns. To me, that sounds like a prisoner. To me, that sounds like a straight up slave. She is an ex-slave. That's insane, y'all. That's absolutely insane. Let me look at some of y'all's comments. And I get it. Not everybody's going to agree with me. And I get it. Some, like the guy who sent a super chat, oh, you a simp. I ain't a simp. I'm just trying to defend human decency here. It's called respect of another human being. You can't tell me that her living in her life the way she's living is okay. Imagine, just switch places with her for a second and tell me if that's a life well lived. Just saying that out loud. You know what I mean? It's insane. Okay. A-Lady 747, what's up? One day, Pascal should do a show about why men think being a decent human being is simping. Yeah. And abuse is okay. See, that's the problem too here, y'all. That's the thing. Oh, treat your women like trash. Treat them like trash. You got to put your foot down and say what it is. Have control over everything. I'm sorry. That's not working for me. And maybe I'm a more advanced human being in that light. You see what I'm saying? But there's got to be a certain level of respect between you and your spouse, period, point blank. There's got to be communication and a better way of communicating with each other. Do you think that conversation that we just saw, even if it was just a snippet, because there's longer versions of it where he goes off even more, you're telling me that that's a proper way of communicating with somebody? I'm telling you, when you're going to your boss and maybe you have a problem with your boss or a coworker or something, are you talking the exact same way to your coworkers? I'm just saying. And if you are, I'm surprised you still got the damn job, because that's not the proper way of one, communicating and treating another person with respect. Period. And don't get me wrong, not everybody's perfect. We all have our moments. We all get a little unhinged. We all raise our voices from time to time. We all get mad, and in the heat of the moment, we say something that we don't mean. It happens. It definitely happens. But this guy seemed extremely comfortable saying exactly what he said and how he said it. And then on top of it, him saying that he's going to go and he's going to turn the horse into mincemeat is insane to me. Same thing with the dogs. I'm going to do some bad things to your dogs that you love so much. I'm going to take the money and I'm going to spend all this stuff. Look at that. $750,000 gone. Nah, that is not good. Okay? That is not good at all. It's Kim is in the house. It's Kim. You are right. Some people view her as meat. She's a human being in danger. That should be the number one concern in everyone's mind. I hope she's okay. Great show, Pascal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is a conversation that we need to have because there are people out here and I appreciate the comment, Kim, but there are people out here that literally are in this kind of situation. I mean, this one's a little bit more extreme and it's very tailored, okay? But there are people out here that feel trapped, that feel stuck in their own homes, stuck in their own situations, because it can also be the house of your own mind. You could be stuck within the prison of your own mind because of the walls that your loved one has built in your brain as well. There are serious amounts of manipulation that can really happen. That a person, if they're crafty enough, can implement into another person, feeling like they can't get out of their own way. Manipulation, okay? And that's exactly what we're seeing. This girl's been manipulated for so long, and it's crazy to me because she seems as if she feels like she can't do any better. That's crazy to me too. She feels like she can't do any better when she clearly could. And I'm not sitting here saying go off and speak to the people who are sliding in your DMs. No, find somebody in a natural way. But she, even in her mind, thinks she can't do any better. So she's stuck. And maybe in the very beginning, we just play this idea out. She may have enjoyed that little sense of control from him. But maybe she let him take over a little bit too much. Okay? That's what I think. A lot more than just a little bit too much. A whole lot. And then he got comfortable playing this role. And then it just enveloped, all this negative energy enveloped in his body, and he became a monster. This is terrible. And also, I agree, Nicole B. He definitely got insecure like a mug. You got a girl who is one of the top e-girls out here, one of the biggest OF creators out here. You got dudes that are probably very, very well off, very, very wealthy, sitting here saying, "Oh, I will send you to Dubai to meet me. I will fly you out. I will do this, this, and this." You know what I mean? Girl, I'll drink your bath water. Like he's getting those things. She's getting those kind of text messages and DMs for show. For show. You know what I mean? Put you on a plate and sop you up with a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Clearly she's getting those kind of things, if not worse. I wouldn't be surprised if she's getting spicy pics, if you get what I'm saying, from the nether regions, from the twigs and berries. All right. And I'm not talking of the woodland kind. Okay. Clearly he's sitting there going, man, I got to deal with all this stuff. I'm sure it pissed him the F off, which causes a whole lot of jealousy and anger on his part. But at the same time, if you knew that this is the person that you were going to fall in love with, and you knew her line of work, you need to deal with that in the most proper way possible. Or you sit down, you talk to her, and you say, hey, okay, well, looks like, okay, this lifestyle, I'm not into. Maybe we could talk about this, so on and so forth. If not, then find somebody that's better for you. Don't hold this person and say, "Oh, I'm gonna turn into her pimp and tell her what she can and cannot do." I'm telling you, it's unproductive. It starts turning abusive, and then next thing you know, videos like this leak out online, and everyone looks at you like a monster, and that's what this guy is. Period. Dude is a monster. Yes, I said moonshine. Yes, I said bathwater. Girl, I'll drink your bathwater. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? She's getting those kind of DMs, and she's also getting sup. That's it. Just the sup. Come on now. Just saying. Sup. Or, you're hot. Can I see your... You know what I mean? Send nudes and BS like that. Okay? Period. All right? You know? It's crazy, guys. It's absolutely crazy to me. Okay? But, you know, I'm thinking about it, y'all. Let me think really, really quick. I got a few minutes. I got a few more minutes. All right. And I will say this. Devious Doll just said, sort things out. It really depends on what kind of the relationship, what the relationship is like here. To me, this looks like that they are at a point of no return. It's done. Stick a fork in it. 'Tis done. It's over to me. But I know a lot of people, like from what we're hearing right now, they say one of the people that works with her is saying she spent all day talking to her husband to sort things out. I don't know. You know, if the relationship is really, really, really as bad as what has been exposed, no, you got to go. Like, you got to get out of that. Don't find any excuses. Don't find any reasons to stick around. This is bad. Okay? Really, really bad. Really quick, Courtney, sorry. What is her average age of viewers? Apparently it's between like the ages of 18 to 35. She literally said that in a Vice interview. She said, my viewers are within the age bracket of 18 to 35, which is vast, you know, majority of it. But you see something like this, okay? You see something like this, and to me, this is at a point of no return. And God knows how venomous, how violent, if violence was introduced into the relationship at all, or if he is just psychologically and verbally abusing her. Regardless, she needs to go. And the fact that she spent all day talking to him to work things out doesn't sound like he's going to disappear anytime soon. You know, doesn't sound like they're going to be parting ways anytime soon. And there might be a heavy amount of dependency that she has on him, because there's things that she does that she, you know, that occupy 12 hours out of her day that she doesn't even have she doesn't have time to do. But let me say this though too. She can always hire some assistants to do those other things, or bring in business partners that can help build her brand and build her empire as such. There's things that she can be doing without a doubt that don't require her man. I will say that too. It's crazy. But I will open up the phone lines for a second, just for a second. And I want to say this. I would love to hear some new voices. All right. Keep it classy. Keep it respectful. Again, keep it respectful. If you start talking mess, I'm hanging up on your ass. I don't care. Okay? Don't care. All right? So, phone line is in there. Hold on, let me make sure I can pin it to the top. Where did it go? There it is. So, this is a quick speak on it segment. All right? But I know there's some people that want to put in their 2 cents about this. Hold on one second. Make sure I get everything open. All right. Here we go. Hey, Tyler, how you doing?
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Good.
Good. So what's on your mind, man? Speak on it.
Yeah. For a second, I thought you wanted to hear new voices, but
Well, I mean, you were calling. I don't want you to think that I'm avoiding your phone calls or anything like that. But speak on what you got to say, man. Speak on it. What are your thoughts?
So yeah. I got to say that was incredibly upsetting to hear and watch and I just obviously she needs to get out of that situation, but I think maybe she feels that it's not that easy or like cause clearly she has notoriety and she has a lot and she's making all this money, but she's being controlled by this monster, and just what gets to me is that anyone would defend that, would defend what we just heard and saw there. I no disrespect to like anyone that like super chats or does anything like that, but if I feel like even the guy that super chat like why would I guess I'm a simp if I feel empathy towards someone who is being treated in this type of way.
Right.
I guess I'm a simp for having any sort of empathy towards anyone
female
going through this.
Anybody female, literally. I mean, it really is anything that has to do with female. It turns into, oh, you a simp. And it's like, come on, y'all. Like, there's also human decency. Right. There's also things that are not right. And then it also, I mean, for people that are going to sit there and say those kind of things, it does make you think maybe this is how they speak to their spouses. I don't know. And to me, it's just not how it should be done.
I don't want to get into that. It just disgusts me. Keemstar, of course. Like I've never liked him, but that's a whole different thing.
Right. But he spoke. But also, I will say this though, Tyler, really, really quick. He did basically say a lot of things that a lot of other guys are basically saying. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's very polarizing, this situation. Go ahead.
The thing is, I don't see what it is. That's why I go so hard at like the Andrew Tates of the world and like all these other people. Like, do they really feel this scorned and this freaking just this entitled to a woman's, well, not just body, but just in general, I mean, her mere presence, like they really feel that entitled to want to be with them, like, or just want to spend time with them, like every waking hour of every single day. Like I know sometimes I get upset, like if you don't like call or I don't or like we have these phone calls like that, and then I sometimes get upset, but other members of the chat would they remind me that hey, like there's other times where we get to have these conversations and stuff like that. So right. It's like that parasocial relationship sort of thing, and it's like, and I know TYT was covering this, Anna Kasparian. She said like you're not entitled to you're not entitled to my time or anything like you can pay to watch my content. You can pay to watch what we do, but other than that, like just the whole thing of having control over a woman's life. It just disgusts me. Like I can't imagine anyone thinking that that's okay and thinking that that is what's necessary. Like
Right, Tyler.
I don't mean to get all cheesy, but my mom's my favorite person in the entire world. I love
sweet.
her very much. I can't imagine her ever going through any of that. Like I have a great father, and I know that he treats her in the best way possible. There's equal balance in the relationship. There's no one controlling the other.
Right.
And
Well,
everyone has a say.
Right. Well, I will say this. I mean, yes, I do agree with what you said earlier about and of course I agree. I mean, you got a great you got great parents and all that too. And it was a lovely picture that I saw on Twitter of your parents, and that's a beautiful thing. But the other thing with TYT, it's like, you know, what you do in your private life, whether you are married or whatever, it's your private life. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's your business and your business alone. That's the reason why work is work and private life is private life. And if she wants to have a private life with this guy, which I still think she should consider kicking rocks here with the quickness, that's her decision. You know, I don't think it should be she's conning everybody. No, then every artist and entertainer that's out here that makes millions and millions of dollars performing, that actually have girlfriends on the side or boyfriends on the side, and some of these guys are on the DL as well. You see what I'm saying? But
right.
Coming off like they're straight, then they're conning everybody. You see what I'm saying? So in my mind, it's like, hey, that's your private life. Live your life. Do you. But
Exactly.
if you start exposing that and showing somebody that is hurting you or that is verbally A-ing you in this kind of way, then you know that obviously it's a cry for help. All bets are off, and it's most definitely a cry for help, and it's time to get to business. But Tyler, I got to let you go, man. I got a bunch of people calling in. I appreciate your 2 cents on this, man. All right. Talk to you soon. Man. Love you too, brother. Peace. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Pascal, this is Dubby.
Dubby, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, where are you calling in from? Oh, don't listen to the show. Mute the show real quick.
Hold on, let me mute the show.
All right,
the show is muted.
So what's on your mind? Speak on it.
I live in a suburb outside Detroit.
Okay.
But
Go ahead.
But I wanted to give some type of experience because this happened to me about 20 years ago, and it's kind of triggering for me. I had an ex that was very abusive, broke my ankle, and I kind of know what she's going through. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors. This man is telling her every day, you are nothing without me. You can't live without me. That is terrorizing. When you hear that all the time.
Yep.
That she feels that her survival depends on him. And that's what these people do to people at a weak point. At that time, I'm in my 40s now. When I was in my 20s, I dated an older guy. And I went through a point where I lost my job and I didn't want to tell anybody or go back and live with my parents. And I got sucked into this type of thing. And that's what she's sucked into. And I know for people who've never lived that life, they will never understand that. But for those of us who went through this period, and I kind of went to her Wikipedia, did my little research while you guys were talking. She's 28 years old. So she's been with this guy 9 years. She doesn't have that maturity level. Like someone like me, I know it, I see it coming in my 40s. But for her, this is all she knows.
Yep.
So when he starts to threaten, I'm going to take your money away. I'm going to take your life away. You will be nothing. we don't even know if he does abuse her, and she puts makeup on to cover that. There's so much that could be going in the background that no one on Twitter will see, no one on YouTube will see, no one will ever understand because she does her videos and has to put on a game face.
Yep. Yep. And if you really think about it, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dovey. You have something more to say?
No, I just wanted to put, for someone who's been through it and a lot of us who've been through it in the chat, I wanted to put a voice on it,
Yeah.
And shout out to those people who have been through it as well. We are survivors, but
Yes.
we know what this is when we see it. We recognize it when we see it.
Absolutely. I do want to say this, don't leave yet because it does sound like you're about to hang up. But I do want to say this though, too. I do think I think that there's a lot of people, a lot of women and some men, that are in the sex worker industry. Okay. That I feel are controlled by somebody. They may not be called their pimp, but they basically are. And this is kind of
also too, a lot of the times those people have been abused. I went through a lot of things before they got into that industry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't know this girl's history, how she grew up, if
Right.
she had issues with uncles, aunts, parents, those type of issues. So we don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that background story. We don't know her story.
Absolutely. We don't know that story, but I have heard a lot of different stories like this, where we have somebody, well, we don't see often the something being exposed like this on a live stream where you got the guy screaming at her, but we do have like Z's Vision just said, where they are basically a handler for lack of a better term. It's a little bit more of a respectful, I guess, term instead of just calling them a straight up just low life pimp. But we do see a lot of stories like that. I've had many friends of mine that are in the industry, that may be, working the pole or, at the gentlemen's clubs, etc., all that kind of thing. They always have at least there is somebody who is just holding power over them, that are instilling that you are nothing without me. You will not make the same amount of money without me. If I'm the only one who's pushing and making these things happen for you. You just happen to be the one making the money, but I'm the one who's making them, making the power moves behind the scenes for us to be able to make $1.5 million a month. There is so much of that going on in the industry. And I also see that, as you just said, with people who are surviving right now, current day, in just regular life, like what you just said, Dovey. You are a survivor of this, and it's not like you are Amouranth. You know what I mean? You're not streaming. You're just living your life, and you just happen to meet somebody who happens to be a monster trying to take control over you. And I just have to say, I really do appreciate you calling, first off, and putting your voice on this topic, because we don't get that very often. We just hear everybody else going, "Oh, you a simp," for trying to defend a helpless woman.
I was real offended when he said, "Oh, that's a simp." I'm like, dude, you don't even know what a simp is. That's not okay.
Yeah.
But, I just chalked it up as that person being immature, never lived that life. I hope that person never goes through that. But, who knows? That person may date a woman who explains it to him, just like I did with my current husband. My current husband was like, "Hey, I go to hug you sometimes and you jump." I had to explain to him why.
Yeah. But I'm also...
I don't... Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So that person, as they get older, they'll learn, they'll grow better. It's just a statement they're saying, but life has a way of teaching you to be better through other people's experiences. So
that's right.
That's kind of how I took that.
You know what? You're 110% right. And again, Dovey, thank you so much for calling. speaking about your survival.
Okay.
No, just speaking about your survival and everything. I really do appreciate that, because there's a lot of people out here that need to hear that as well, because some people who are listening might be ear hustling, listening from the nosebleed seats right now. A lot of them may feel that they're trapped or feel like there's no way of finding salvation. And you're telling us that obviously there is a way out. There is salvation and you can survive this. So, Dovey, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate that.
Okay. Thanks, Pascal.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
I think somebody just tried calling, but there it is. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I know you said you want to hear new people, but it's Devious Dolls, Zarina from Jacksonville. I did want to say something because one of my first shows, I mentioned, as a child, I went through stuff, and then as an adult, my first relationship was an abusive one,
Yeah.
The first year, like, we're together, my friends called the cops on him when they saw, I was bruised. I did not. And his family, like, never forgave me. And we stood together for another 4 years.
Wow.
So I finally have the courage to leave, and people think it's just so easy. And especially, like, if you don't have kids, but it's not. When you're tied to that person, and when that person's your first love, it's hard to leave.
Yes, it most definitely is. And because I can only imagine, especially when you feel like you have no place to go, or you feel lost, for sure.
Yeah, that is a big one, because her family might not, all support her, career. She might not have, many places to go. And people say, oh, she's making money, but she might not even have access, to her money if this guy's controlling, everything.
Yeah.
So it's not just,
How did you get
you
out?
can't just up and leave if you just want to. There's a lot involved, and I saw somebody, but she had stalkers. Like, that's another thing you have to worry about. Like, when you leave, like, how much security do you get to protect yourself from,
Right. Wait,
stalkers and such?
Devious Doll, right? This is Devious Doll?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, let me ask you. First off, I want to say thank God that you found salvation. Thank God you found a way out. But if you mind me asking, how long ago did you leave the situation?
That was 2007.
Right on.
Yeah.
And how's it been? Was it tough in the very beginning, or was it easy?
It was, like, I stayed single for years. I was scared to date. For a long time, I had a rule: if I dated somebody, it was like 3 months or less, and that's it. Just close, to where I would ever be in a situation,
Yeah.
that I'm so drawn to somebody they can't leave, But yeah, like, now I'm good. I've been in a relationship for 9 years. I have a child, and I'm
That's
good.
great.
He has never touched me, like, ever.
That's amazing.
So I'm lucky. I found someone from Facebook Zoop app. Oddly enough, it was a thing 9 years ago. But I do want to say something not on this topic.
Sure.
About the Clinton stuff I told you in the earlier chat. So I thought it was an interview, and I went back and looked at it, but it was the grandmother that was in the chat. So she would just answer some questions, like it wasn't an interview.
Oh, wait. Of who? I'm sorry. What? Of what?
The grand. So
Oh, you mean
remember,
Quentin? Are you talking about Quentin Simon?
yeah,
Okay. Yes.
yeah.
I go ahead. Go ahead.
So the grandmother was in the chat on that show, Voices Against the Wall or something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't an actual interview. It was like just like in the chat. So you had to like read 3 of the chat, and I passed out trying to like read it.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
But the other guy that's usually in your show, Nerdy Addict, I saw on TikTok that he's actually up there. So he was supposed to do his streaming at some point. So he's up
Yes.
there. If you wanted to get with him to get more information on that.
Yeah, Devious. I literally just got reconnected with him on Twitter. I mean, we were corresponding solely on Twitter, and then his account got banned or suspended or whatever the hell it was, and then suddenly he has a new one. So I randomly found him today.
Oh,
So now I'm trying to get that conversation back up and running again, so we can be, so I can have him correspond with me on the show, etc. Because we were having a really great time having him on the show for sure. But Devious, thank you so much for the information, and thank you so much for calling.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
All right. Talk to you
All
soon.
right.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody who called in. That really does mean a lot, and I appreciate a lot of y'all who called in to share your thoughts and all that, because I mean, and even your stories of survival. I know that there's many more out there, and I'm sure there's many more that want to share their stories and talk about this as well, which we will have to do that on another time for sure. Because yeah, this is just again, like I've been saying, it is seeing this, I know, affected a lot of people. And I know that it's unfortunate that there are a lot of jerks out there too that will sit here and try to find any excuse under the sun to justify the treatment that she was receiving. And again, we don't know, we don't have, we only have one side of the story, right? We don't have everything. But at the same time, no person should be doing that, threatening their loved one, taking their money, threatening to ruin all the stuff that they've spent years building. This is a woman, doesn't matter how you look at her, how you see her. This is a woman that built a multi-million-dollar industry around her name, her brand, and her image. That is amazing. There's people out here that would kill for that opportunity, for those kinds of spoils. It's just unfortunate that she met the wrong dude. She put trust and love in the wrong person that's losing their doggone mind live for everyone to see. It is a truly tragic situation that I don't think anybody should be going through. So anyway, guys, and also, there is no hope for this relationship. In my personal opinion, it's done. It's a wrap. Stick a fork in it. It is done. I don't think that there should be any room. I really don't think there's any room for trying to work this out. I only think that it's only going to get worse. And then next thing you know, she's on headline news with some with some bad news about her. And we don't want to hear that. In the true crime world of things, I don't want to be reporting a story about a highly successful streamer no longer being on this planet because her husband doesn't know how to keep his cool or manage his anger. His anger is really, really bad. And if he's not like out here going to the gym or hitting a punching bag or going and go run, get a few miles in or something like that to get some of that negative anger energy out of his body, he should think about doing that as quickly as possible, because I'm telling you right now, no other woman is going to want to be with a guy like this. unless he does some serious work within himself. I do believe people have a chance to fix themselves. Everyone gets a second chance. I don't know if this is his second chance or if this is his 10th chance. Regardless, if he gets another chance at anything, I don't think he has a chance with her anymore, but who's to say? Sounds like she's going to give him another chance. But if he gets a chance at life, right, and if the internet doesn't completely destroy him, I hope he looks within himself and tries to find something good within him that can maybe suppress all this anger, because he's got to start asking questions for himself. Why all this anger towards her? Why all this vitriol? Why this venomous poison coming out of me towards her? I mean, she even said in later on in the video, you know, all these guys, she even said, like, all these guys love me, but the one person that I love doesn't love me. And that says a lot. That says a lot. So I'm hoping that that dude takes some time for himself, has a serious conversation within his own heart, and figures out how to be a better man and how to be a better person out here, outside of being a husband, because I think that relationship's done. Dovey, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thanks, Pascal, and this family, making me feel comfortable enough to share my story. Love you guys. Hey, we love you too, Dovey, and I really, really appreciate you being so open, all you guys, okay, for being so open and honest and talking about your stories of survival. Again, there's a lot of people out here that feel like they have no place to go. Dovey was exactly right with that. He is playing with her mind, making her believe that there's no place she can go. That's wrong. That she's trapped. Literally, you can't go anywhere without me. You're nothing without me. This also makes me think of that Ike and Tina Turner, that What's Love Got to Do with the movie? You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing without me kind of thing. You know, this is dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. And there's not only just Dovey and Devious Doll. Okay, there's a lot of other people out here, men and women, that may be ear hustling right now, listening to the show right now, living through their own situation. And there are people that have found salvation. There are people that walked away safely and were able to live a wonderful and fruitful life, just like Dovey and Devious Doll, and all you that have actually survived your nightmares, your own personal nightmares. So I just wanted to say that really, really quick, okay? And again, I also do want to say this too. I know this might sound a little corny, but you're not alone. There are people out here that are willing to hear you, willing to listen, your friends, your families. There are hotlines, 1-800 numbers, etc. And also, there's people out here that maybe if you were talking about this out loud, that might turn to you and say, I have survived too. And here's how I did it. Let me help you out. Sometimes you just need to speak up. And the person right next to you might be your salvation. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I really appreciate all y'all for being here. I really do. You guys have been incredible. Thank you so much for being on here and talking about this with me. And I know lately it's been a lot of the true crime stuff, and I know that there's more stories. Trust me, we will be getting into those tomorrow as well. So keep an eye out for that. But you know, we talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. It's a variety channel. We talk about everything. So I figured this was very, very important. We do have to talk about DV abuse. It is that awareness month right now as we speak. So real quick, before you head off, please go and check out Break the Silence. Hoodies and t-shirts are right now on pascalmerch.com. Again, that is pascalmerch.com. Okay. Portion of the proceeds is going to the Gabby Petito Foundation. Okay. And of course, in the back, it has domestic violence awareness. Okay. We're trying to shed light on that conversation and on that topic, making everyone believe and know that they are not alone and that there is salvation. You just have to open up the door and walk out the front door. Sometimes that's all you need to do. And then you'll figure it out later. But first, get out. Just get out. Anyway, guys, I got to get going. I appreciate all y'all. You guys have been amazing. Okay, do me a favor really quick. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it scream out your name. And of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Again, we talk about everything on this channel. Everything from true crime, pop culture, politics, and controversial topics. So please, if you like having conversations and just making your brain sweat, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all. Whoops. What did I say? Water Dragon. Pascal, thank you for exposing the tough topic that needed to be discussed and doing it with respect and compassion. You are a true gentleman. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Water Dragon. Thank you. Please share if you can. Share this feed. And man, if Amouranth ever had time to come onto the show, I would love to have her on the show. We could talk it out even more. Because this needs to be talked more thoroughly. And I think the only way we can thoroughly talk about it is with her on the show, which would be incredible. But anyway, I digress. It's time to get going. Love you guys. Have a great night. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.